Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV with me, Sylvia Zulu. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. Duveni Royal Establishment of Mponga District demands release of jailed chief. Chililabombo residents uncovers a suspected ZNS millimil smuggling saga. An economist questions statutory reserve ratio upward adjustment. And in international news, French city stabbing attack raises security concerns ahead of Olympic Games. And in sports news, Zambia under-17 women's national team trashes Tanzania 5-0. To join me with the details shortly.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha, from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mossy Road, 4th Close, on the left after KALIKILIKI Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
And now the news in detail. The Duveni Royal Establishment is demanding the immediate release and reinstatement to the throne of Senior Chief Duveni, who has been jailed for 30 days for assault. Speaking during a press conference in Lusaka Saturday morning, Royal Establishment Chairperson Amos Maseka has accused political leaders on the copper belt led by Mponga District Commissioner of being behind the jailing of the chief. Mr. Maseka says the politicians have been pushing to impose Maud Chaili to the throne when the family already settled for the incarcerated Zia Poster in line with the succession rights. Meanwhile, when reached for a comment, Mponga District Commissioner Baton Mukomba has denied any involvement in the wrangle surrounding the Duveni chiefdom.
The succession dispute in Duveni chiefdom of Mponga District on the Copper Belt has deepened. Royal Establishment Chairperson Amos Maseka has accused politicians led by District Commissioner Baton Mukomba of causing the conviction of Senior Chief Duveni for 30 days on trumped-up charges of assault to create room for their preferred person.
Politicians, chief, DC, basendo we know what one more child. Naena bamtenteka nomba twaisasa ngokwe bati batenteka ulioto akene awe ulia family taire mfuaya pantu nishita yako taira fikila ali very far panch batunga to konka family 3 nishapa wonse baonaika.
Speaking during a press briefing in Lusaka Saturday morning, Mr. Maseka has appealed to President Hakainde Hichilema to intervene in the matter and have the selected chief released from jail. Other members of the royal establishment have echoed similar sentiments, claiming that the royal family and villagers in Duveni chiefdom are under siege.
Pano ichi tuwalombo kwati tufumisheni kwa bali abamfumu batuwadilira okubomba mwesu mukyalo pakuti muri ukumana kuri ba DC na bakapokola bali kutwika tempindi nempindi
ati mangana kale ni maseozi nomba fwebo ubwikalo bwesu bwaboneka uti bwashupa efe twabutukira kuli mwe bwati mutofweko mwe babuteko nikwisa ko tulelo la eku kuno nomba twaisati mutofweko mwe bafyashi besu bakuti bali abamodi batira umunwe wapakati
ba politician ba mkopa belt bafume mu bufumu bwesu ubufumu fwebo fwebene fwe tukwete nkosesha kubalange mfumu nomba ba politician ba mkopa belt tababomba pokoti ni bagari ebale sana mkwe bagari ati mwe basaini nabayo.
Also speaking during the same press briefing, United National Independence Party UNIP spokesperson Andrew Mwima has demanded the release of the chief.
Today, His Royal Highness Chief Ndubeni must be released where he has been detained unlawfully in Impongwe. He must be released. We are not asking, we are demanding, because he is a Zambian and is a leader. He cannot be subjected to such humiliation.
When reached for a comment, accused District Commissioner Mr. Munkomba denied involvement in the Ndubeni chiefdom wrangles.
No, the fact is that I'm not taking any side. That thing was in court. So sometimes you know when a thing was in court or is in court, then we are not allowed to say anything. So I cannot give you any, but I'm not siding with anyone or I'm not supporting anyone.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo has announced a downward trend of cholera cases, with the country recording 200 cases in the last 24 hours. Giving a cholera update in Chilenja Township, Ms. Masebo says 340 patients have been discharged, while recording only 2 deaths in the last 24 hours. The minister commended the efforts of health workers as well as the various stakeholders for their support to the government through financial and material resources. Earlier, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Garin Kombo directed families using the unfinished Chilenja Mini Civic Center building for settlers for shelter to vacate the place with immediate effect.
For the past 3 months, our nation has stood resilient and determined in the fight against cholera. In the past 2 weeks, we have seen a downward trend in the number of cases and mortalities recorded. We anticipate a further reduction in recorded cases and mortalities. I wish to urge everyone to continue adhering to the guidelines provided. Let us unite in safeguarding our communities, fostering clean and safe environments. We have indicated before that this cholera threat has not been limited to our country alone. Currently, a good number of countries within the SADC region also have cholera. And beyond the SADC region,
the history behind this is that local authorities have been engaging what they call performance contractors to clean the surroundings of various suburbs and regions. And what we found out is that these performance contractors have failed lamentably. So the relationship between the local authorities and the contractors has not worked. We have mooted an idea that in every location, as you know, the President has encouraged us to form cooperatives. And this is not funny.
Meanwhile, Lusaka City Mayor Chilando Chitangala has encouraged Lusaka's Mtendere residents to maintain high levels of hygiene amid the cholera epidemic. Ms. Chitangala says cholera is associated with dirt and the disease can only be fought by keeping the surroundings clean. She said this when she led traders and other stakeholders in a cleaning exercise at Mtendere Market Saturday morning.
I encourage us kuti tikazikilina aini mwamvera kuti cholera ilibe size aini elo cholera ni chani ni doti chabe siso ni doti. So musiti yatu mulikolera manje munamvera kwa George kuchawama kuja kumatero kukanyama kwa mandevu konse kuna kuno kumtendere yaliko makesi za kolera ini stipu na kunkala na disease ya doti. So teacher encourage kuti tikazipyanga ini tikazipyanga bonse ono tukamba chaba tipyangelelo iyai tibwele kuja nkani yakudala yakuti Saturday kuseni, not even every month, every Saturday morning mwakina wachaman mwakina mtamberana then mayamba kugulisa tiziva kuti mumafuna kuti mwapyanga kuseni seni so ati malonda yambako kamusangaini ngase timachitanda but tuvomelesane kuti mamarkets yonse amene bakamba tiyabikirina yakazinkala clean kolera ni matenda yosebanisa siyali bwino because once bakambera kolera nsibaziva ni doti siso so tusebenzere bonse pamoja.
Governance and human rights expert Wesley Mianda has accused the Zambian National Service of betraying public trust following continued allegations of smuggling its Milimil brand. Speaking in an interview Saturday in Lusaka, Mr. Mianda says ZNS has been entrusted with the mandate to supply the country with Milimil as well as import for the DRC market, but instead it is exporting the Zambian brand. He has urged Minister of Defense Abrois Lufuma to get to the bottom of the continued smuggling of Eagle's brand Milimil at a time when Zambians are faced with the high cost of living. Mr. Mianda was reacting to videos of citizens in Chililabombwe who are believed to have impounded trucks laden with Eagle's brand Milimil, purporting it's imported from South Africa, destined for the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC.
The Zambia National Service is again in another controversy barely days after rejecting the allegations of selling genetically modified Milimil on the Zambian market. This time around, ZNS is accused of smuggling its Eagle's brand Milimil to the much sought after market in the Democratic Republic of Congo under the disguise of imported South African brand. The unverified videos of Chilawombe residents impounding trucks laden with ZNS Milimil have been widely shared on social media.
So that those that are giving them permits and whatever they are getting should come and explain to us, because we cannot let the people, the residents of Chilawombe, suffer at the expense of people that are here to make money.
The mix in South African Milimil. Nishina mutove funde because he won't pass paper parati. Work South Africa musende.
But nobody is going to let you go. You're not going anywhere.
So you'll be here. If ZNS are playing game with you, us we don't play games.
Reacting to the incident, LUSAKA-based governance and human rights expert Wesley Mianda has described the conduct of ZNS as a betrayal of public trust.
But it's unfortunate that after giving permit to ZNS to import Milimil from South Africa, which they are exporting to Congo DR, they have decided to even pounce on the Milimil that they're producing meant for Zambians. And this actually is not settling well because that is total corruption.
Mr. Mianda has urged government through the Minister of Defense Abrois Lufuma to bring to order ZNS as its conduct is unacceptable at a time when Zambians are struggling with the high cost of living.
The Minister of Defense, Honorable Abrois Lufuma, and Lieutenant General Soloch, the ZNS commander, I think should look into this issue and see how best they can contain, they can control their officers. Because we cannot continue complaining. We cannot continue receiving these complaints from people over the high prices of essential commodities, especially staple food, which is the shima. We also talk about the high prices of fuel. So we are saying this institution should add value to the governance system of this country.
Efforts to get a comment from government chief spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa or Copper Belt Minister Elisha Matambo proved futile as both their phones went unanswered. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Opposition Economic Freedom Fighters EFF has advised government to declare fuel as a public good and introduce subsidies on the commodity. EFF leader Kasonde Mwenda says government cannot be preaching about production when it is not facilitating means to do so. Meanwhile, Party National Youth Chairperson Stanley Malama has expressed disappointment that government has concentrated on employing civil servants while doing nothing to create jobs in the private sector.
On Wednesday, 31st January 2024, the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, adjusted petroleum pump prices upwards. Opposition Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, has proposed that government declares fuel as a public good and introduce subsidies on the commodity. Speaking at a media briefing in Lusaka Saturday morning, EFF leader Kasonde Mwenda says government cannot be preaching about production when it is not facilitating means to do so.
Fuel prices. We saw on the 31st of January the prices of petrol being elevated to 34 kwacha, 16 ngwe. It's an atrocity. It's a death sentence to the people. That is a death sentence to the people. I also sat in an economics class. You can never reach an equilibrium, economic equilibrium in poverty. There is no, your science, that is backward kind of thinking. No, they can't finish so that they reflect the truth. When the price of fuel goes up, you cripple the means of production.
Meanwhile, Party National Youth Chairperson Stanley Malama has expressed disappointment that government has concentrated on employing civil servants and has done nothing to create jobs in the private sector.
Found debt swap which was being pushed by the PF government. When campaigning, he promised the civil servants that we are going to continue with the debt swap. But up to now, there is nothing that is happening. The civil servants who are listening throughout the country are aware of the effects which came with being promised a debt swap and not being given. They are aware of the suffering of the civil servants because it was a promise that they are going to be given a debt swap. Apart from that, yes, they are employing a lot of teachers, but there is no respect for the terms and conditions of service for the teachers, for the nurses, for the police officers, and all other civil servants.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Mass Political Party Movement Secretariat has cautioned against the hijack of the collaboration among opposition political parties in the country. Secretariat official Cosmas Mukuka claims there is information that a name is being proposed to lead the recently announced alliance of 7 political parties. Speaking during a press briefing Saturday morning in Lusaka, Mr. Mkuka, who is also Christian Democratic Party Deputy Secretary General, explains that the mass movement of political parties was never meant to be an alliance. He warns that the initial plan of the mass political parties movement was to gather solidarity with the public, civil society organizations, and other entities regarding the country's governance.
To give professional advice to these political parties, and it is incumbent upon them either to take the advice from us or not. But most likely, if they wish to set up another secretariat away from the original secretariat which was established, that is something else that we'll still have to get back to the media and inform you. But from the onset, we would like, much as it is an alliance of political parties, would not want this agenda to be hijacked because of a number of things, the political environment that we are operating in. Would like that announcement which was made also to heed to the advice that we've been working on, and I must indicate that it was decided that they have that briefing away from the Secretariat because of the like-mindedness manner of the 7 political parties that met at that briefing.
The Zambia police has arrested a 27-year-old man of LUSAKA'S CHOLERA area for making a false document and proposing violence contrary to the laws of Zambia. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga tells Camnet TV News that Mpomwa Kapasa is alleged to have presented a document titled Notification on the Protest by Youths Demanding President Hakainde Hichilema to Step Down on Moral Grounds, a document purportedly co-authored by Charles Kakula. Mr. Hamonga, however, says investigations revealed that Mr. Kakula is currently out of the country, indicating that the document was falsely attributed to him.
On the 31st of January 2024, around 17:30 hours, Lusaka Central Police Station detained Mr. Moses Mpoma Mwenge Kampasa, aged 27, a resident of Chalala along Shantumbo Road, in connection with the offences of making a false document and proposing violence as stipulated under Section 344 and Section 91 of the Penal Code Act, Chapter 7 Laws of Zambia. Mr. Kampasa is alleged to have presented a document titled Notification on the Protest by Youths Demanding President Hakainde Hichilema to Step Down on Moral Grounds. The document was purportedly co-authored by Mr. Kampasa and Mr. Charles Kakula. However, investigations revealed that Mr. Charles Kakula is currently out of the country, indicating that the document was falsely attributed to him. This false document was submitted to the Lusaka Division Police Headquarters Command Registry on the 29th of January 2024 around 17 hours. The document claimed to represent a group of youths advocating for the resignation of President Hakainde Hichilema on moral grounds. Mr. Kampasa, who identifies himself as a political and mental health activist, alleges to advocate for good governance and the elimination of stigmatization against individuals living with mental health conditions. His purported purpose for notifying the police about the planned protest on the 20th of February 2024 was to draw attention to the high cost of living and perceived violation of human rights. In light of these allegations, Mr. Moses Mpoma Mwenge Kampasa has been formally charged with making a false document and proposing violence. He is currently detained in custody awaiting legal proceedings. The police are committed to upholding the law and ensuring the safety and security of the public. The Zambia Police Service urges the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities that may pose a threat to the peace and security of our nation.
You're watching the main news on Camnet TV. We'll take our first break.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted, classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mossy Road, 4th Close, on the left after KALIKILIKI Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 04 9213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. REIN Glow, your smart irrigation partner.
Camnet TV main news continues. Economist Kelvin Chisanga has questioned the Bank of Zambia's decision to adjust upwards the statutory reserve ratio from the current 17% to 26% effective 5th February 2024. Mr. Chisanga notes that the central bank is in panic mode and that increasing the reserve ratio will not address the continued depreciation of the kwacha. On Friday, 2nd February 2024, the Bank of Zambia adjusted upwards the statutory reserve ratio on both local and foreign currency deposits, including government deposits and virtual accounts deposit by 9%.
On Friday, 2nd February 2024, the Bank of Zambia adjusted upwards the statutory reserve ratio on both local and foreign currency deposits, including government deposits and virtual accounts deposit, by 9% from the current 17% to 26% effective Monday, 5th February 2024. Increasing the statutory reserve ratio means that the central bank will reduce money supply by pulling 9% of the kwacha out of the system and placing upward pressure on the domestic currency, which could in turn help ease imported inflation. But economist Kelvin Chisanga has questioned the bank's decision, noting that the central bank is in panic mode and that increasing the reserve ratio will not address the economic challenges as well as the continued depreciation of the kwacha.
In as much as we are trying to fight the accelerating erosion that is taking place in inflation as well as the foreign exchange fundamentals, for me, I feel this is quite rational. Obviously, when you look at the effect that is coming so strong on the economic fundamentals, that we are raising the cost of doing business, and much more even when you look at the holding capacity of most account holders at the bank, they will be able to, have some shake-up in terms of the book balance and all sort of things in that sense. And this also is actually a strong signal testifying that we are looking forward to have elevated costs on doing business in the sense of maybe say interest rates.
What is important to note is that this is the fourth time that the central bank has increased the statutory reserve ratio in 13 months, but no positive results can be pointed at, especially when it comes to addressing the continued depreciation of the kwacha. As at close of business Friday, 2nd February 2024, $1 was selling at 27 kwacha 51 ngwe. Will this fresh adjustment of the statutory reserve ratio make a difference this time around? Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News. Lusaka.
Community Action Against Corruption has described the corruption allegation investigations against former Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Stanley Kakubo as blindfolding. Organization Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo says if the investigative wings were serious over the matter, they would have charged the former minister with money laundering and tax evasion, among other charges. Mr. Tembo said this in an interview with Camnet TV News.
We wish to advise those Zambians who are thinking that the Anti-Corruption Commission and the other investigative wings of government investigating former Foreign Affairs Minister Stanley Kakubo to stop wasting their time, because if the Anti-Corruption Commission and the other investigative wings of government are very much serious about Stanley Kakubo's circumstance, they could have focused their investigations and charged him with fraud, money laundering and tax evasion. These cases are very much, they stand a better chance against the minister, unlike investigating him again on some corruption. We know what transpired there. So investigating him, giving him a general investigation is a deliberate way of buying time by the Anti-Corruption Commission so that they can allow the minister to be cleared. So as Community Action Against Corruption, we are very much sure that the former minister might bounce back into cabinet after being cleared by the Anti-Corruption Commission, after they finish their smoke screen kind of investigation, because if they are serious, they could have charged the minister over the three cases, that is possible fraud, possible money laundering, and again, possible tax evasion, not what they are investigating. So we should not waste time on that one.
The United Nations International Children's Fund, UNICEF, says there is need for the Zambian government to increase the budgetary allocation of early childhood education in the country. UNICEF country representative Penelope Campbell notes that early childhood education is not well funded, hence disadvantaging many children, especially in rural areas. Dr. Campbell further discloses that in Zambia, only 1 out of 10 children start school at a right age.
A critical point for advocating for investing in early childhood education is that investing in early childhood education, what we call foundational learning, for every dollar spent will yield a $9 return. So for every dollar spent, we'll get a 9-fold return in investment for the country's development. So this is a really, really important point that we need to also factor in terms of, you know, the National Development Plan and Vision 2030 goals. For example, in the sub-Saharan region, before COVID, 86% of children at the age of 10 could not read a simple text with comprehension. After COVID, that proportion is probably increased to well over 90%. So that's it. You know, already there was a learning crisis before COVID, but with the closure of schools, that learning crisis has worsened.
We now take our final set of commercials. To join me with the rest of the news shortly.
It's a January back-to-school promotion bonanza at Darren Bay. Take advantage of our massive price discounts and turn your wonderful school-going kids into stars. With a cornrows hairstyle going at only 30 kwacha for kids below 13 years and 50 kwacha for kids above 13 years, your child is guaranteed that neat and trusted classy look. This curly, knotless hairstyle is going for as little as 150 kwacha, from as high as 200 kwacha, wigs included. Now that's a classy saving. The sleek ponytail going at 80 kwacha from 120 kwacha makes your little one look like a true princess. Gift your pretty one with this lovely natural twist for as low as 60 kwacha from 100 kwacha, beads included. Now that's a cute saving. Your princess will look stunning in this curly ponytail at only 90 kwacha from the original 110 kwacha. Now that is a great deal. You will find us along Mosi Road, 4th Close, on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post in Ibex Hill, Lusaka. We are open from 0720 to 17 hours, 7 days a week. Call us for appointment bookings on 0772 870588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049213. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. REIN Glow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now for the rest of the news. In foreign news, an assailant injured 3 people in a stabbing attack at the Gare de Lyon train station in Paris on Saturday. The attack, occurring at approximately 8 a.m., adds to the string of security concerns in the Olympic host city just 6 months before the Summer Games are set to open. Paris police swiftly detained the attacker, who used the sharp weapon in the assault. One of the victims sustained serious stomach wounds, while the other 2 suffered lighter injuries. The police have not provided further immediate details about the incidents. The suspect in custody is identified as a Malian national who presented an Italian driving license to officers. The motive behind the attack remains unclear. Here's a roundup of international news.
An assailant injured 3 people in a stabbing attack at the Gare de Lyon train station in Paris on Saturday. The attack, occurring at approximately 8 a.m., adds to the string of security concerns in the Olympic host city just 6 months before the Summer Games are set to open. Paris police swiftly detained the attacker, who used a sharp weapon in the assault. One of the victims sustained serious stomach wounds, while the other 2 suffered lighter injuries. The police have not provided further immediate details about the incident. The suspect in custody is identified as a Malian national who presented an Italian driving license to officers. The motive behind the attack remains unclear. This assault follows a series of recent knife attacks in Paris. In December, a tourist was killed and 2 others were wounded near the Eiffel Tower in a similar incident. In January last year, 6 people were injured in a stabbing at the Gare du Nord train station. The authorities are expected to intensify security measures in the wake of this latest attack, as Paris remains on high alert in the lead-up to the Summer Games.
Oh, hello, South Carolina.
South Carolina is hosting the first Democratic primary with Joe Biden's name on the ballot.
But the truth is, I wouldn't be here without the Democratic voters of South Carolina, and that's a fact.
The Biden camp has chosen the southeastern state for its inaugural primary instead of the traditional Iowa and New Hampshire. The goal is to give greater influence to a state that reflects America's racial and economic diversity. South Carolina has one of the highest percentages of black voters in the country. 1/4 of its eligible voters are black. With a population of 5 million, it's also among states with the lowest household income and levels of education. South Carolina does not have party registration, meaning its primaries are open to all. Eligible voters are free to cast their ballots in the Democratic contest as long as they do not vote in the Republican primary. Joe Biden is running against two other candidates, Congressman Dean Phillips and author Marianne Williamson. But the incumbent president is all but assured of the nomination, though chances that Democrats will take the traditionally Republican state come November are slim.
We need a fighter who can stand up to the left, who can stand up to the swamp, stand up to the media, stand up to the deep state.
But results here could set the tone for the rest of Biden's campaign. Back in 2020, black primary voters delivered a big win for Joe Biden, giving momentum to his struggling presidential bid.
You're the reason Donald Trump is a loser. And you're the reason we're going to win and beat him again.
Despite polls suggesting mixed reviews of the Biden administration among black Americans, Democrats are hoping for signs of the same success they had here 4 years ago.
How you doing? All right, yourself?
Ibtisam Genford, Al Jazeera.
The Zambia Under-17 national team has humbled Tanzania 5-0 at LUSAKA'S Nkoloma Stadium in the first leg of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifier. A brace from skipper Zangose Blessings Zulu and a goal from Zalia Mwanza gave the home side a comfortable lead in the first half. Second half goals from striker Walia Chileshe and substitute Ruth Muowo put the result beyond the East Africans. An update on the AFCON. Nigeria secured a spot in the Africa Cup of Nations AFCON semi-finals by defeating Angola with a solitary goal from Ademola Lookman. The Atalanta forward's precise finish came just before halftime, capitalizing on a brilliant build-up by Moses Simon. This 1-0 victory marks Nigeria's third win of the tournament, with Lookman as a key contributor. Victor Osimhen's later goal was disallowed and Nigeria's solid defensive record continued, keeping 4 consecutive clean sheets. Coach Jose Peseiro emphasized the team's defensive resilience and expressed satisfaction with their performance. In the second match, DR Congo overcame Guinea 3-1 at the Epipep Olympic Stadium. Guinea initially took the lead with Muhammad Bayo's penalty, but DR Congo responded with goals from Chancel Mbepa, Yon Wissa's penalty, and a stunning free kick by Arthur Masuka. DR Congo, having drawn all group stage matches, secured their semi-final berth.
Nigeria secured a spot in the Africa Cup of Nations semi-finals by defeating Angola with a solitary goal from Ademola Lookman. The Atalanta forward's precise finish came just before halftime, capitalizing on a brilliant build-up by Moses Simon. This 1-0 victory marked Nigeria's third win of the tournament, with Lookman as a key contributor. Coach Jose Peseiro emphasized the team's defensive resilience and expressed satisfaction with their performance. Nigeria, with a record 15th AFCON semi-final appearance, will face Cape Verde or South Africa in the next round. Angola showcased resilience throughout the tournament, reaching the quarterfinals for the first time. Despite their effort, Zini's missed opportunity before the hour mark and Nigeria's defensive strength ended their journey. In the second match, DR Congo overcame Guinea 3-1, securing their semi-final berth. Guinea initially took the lead with Mohamed Bayo's penalty, but the DRC responded with goals from Chancel Mbemba, Yohan Wissa, and a stunning free kick by Arthur Muswaku. The AFCON quarterfinals delivered thrilling encounters, setting the stage for intense semi-final clashes in Abidjan.
That's it for our main news for tonight. Before I go, here's a recap of the stories making headlines. Duweni Royal Establishment of Mponga District demands release of jailed chief. Chililabongwe residents uncovers a suspected ZNS milli-meal smuggling saga. An economist questions statutory reserve ratio upward adjustment. And in international news, a French city stabbing attack raises security concerns ahead of Olympic Games. And in sports news, Zambia under-17 women's national team trashes Tanzania 5-0. Our verse of the day is coming from the book of Psalms 25, verse 4 to 5. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night and God bless you.